Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How you guys doing? It is Monday, January 4th, 2021. I know I've already said it, but Happy New Year in case you guys missed the video that I had just put out for New Year's. I did a podcast, and I think was my whip weekend after New Year's. I think it was on New Year's Day that I put out my whip weekend video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I didn't start. I picked up a different project to finish. So I have that going on right now. So if you're curious what it is, you can check out that video. I thought I would jump on the wagon and do my goals, at least like my crafty, yarny, YouTube-y goals for 2021. I know Terry from the Yarn Joy podcast and Ella from No Catchy Name. Did Pamela do it? I'm not sure. I know the first two did like goal videos just to talk about what they want to accomplish and get done in the same areas like craft and yarn and YouTube wise. So I thought that I would also try to. I'm not going to be disappointed if some of the things I'd like to get done don't get done, but I thought I would make what's the word? Obviously goals, but I'm saying make like an agenda to try to stick to for myself. I have a couple of categories. The first one being like dealing with my yarn collection. As you guys know, I don't like to call it a stash. I think stash is a negative word, and I believe that we should all be proud and display our collections. Collections are nice to look at. Yarn is nice to look at. So I understand that a lot of people don't use the word stash negatively because it's kind of just a word we use, but like I have really tried to wean myself off of that because I think in general the word is negative. So I try very hard not to use it. Sometimes it just happens because I mean it is part of vocabulary. It's perfectly normal for somebody in our circle of of folks to say my stash, and we all know that it means their yarn, but it's their yarn collection. So anyway, that was my rant and nothing really to do with the actual goal. But for my yarn collection, I am not going to put myself on a yarn ban. I'm not going to put myself even on a yarn diet, even though hopefully that just kind of like I hopefully do buy a little less. But I still am going to want to buy, like I said, yarns to show you guys. I'm going to want to buy, if there's a perfect yarn for a pattern or a project, I'm going to want to do that. So I'm not going to say that I'm not going to, but goal number one is just to use more than I buy. I don't think that's going to be a hard goal to do. Because I like to do stuff like I like big projects. I like blankets and things like that. In fact, blankets are probably what makes me like the happiest making. Although I have like a strange fascination with cowls and neck warmers lately. It's like I just want to like make all the neck warmers. I don't know. So, and that requires obviously much less yarn. But yeah, I don't know. I think if I can, and I'm not gonna like write everything down, and I used this many skeins of yarn and I bought this many skeins, I'm not gonna do that. I think if I can do it, it will be evident. And you'll see why later. Like I have some other goals pertaining to like the setup of my yarn and my collection. But just basically use more than I buy. And I'll be able to know if I did that because the second goal, I wrote down all yarn out of totes and onto a shelf. Meaning, like I told you guys in my craft room, I still have Like we did take like the wedding stuff out. We put that away in the basement, not because we're not going to get married, but because we just like postponed it. We were supposed to get married in October of 2020, and financial reasons from my surgery and just terrible reasons from 2020, and like nothing bad. We're not like unengaged, nothing bad, you know, and we've just been together for so long now. He calls me his wife, I call him my husband. Um there's no like immediate need to, and I'd rather have like when I my first marriage, I had justice of the peace wedding. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I had a justice of the peace wedding. We had no honeymoon, and like I told David, I was like, this time I want to do things nice and have like the gothy princessy wedding that I wanted before, and actually have a honeymoon. So um we took that stuff and just put it in the basement for right now. Um, but in its place, because it's in my craft room, also is why we took it out. Um, in its place, I have several totes just full of yarn, and several like the big bags that you can buy from like Joann's, full of yarn. And then out in the living room where my other wall of yarn is, I have, I think, two totes out there, again full of yarn. And it would just be nice to have everything in a place so that I can see it, because like I touched on in the beginning when I said collection should be admired, it shouldn't be sitting in totes and it shouldn't be sitting in bags, and I should be able to look and see like okay, I want to use this shawl in a ball for a project, but I really want to have 3 shawl in a balls of this color. Do I have that? I would know because it's right there, it's on the shelf. I don't have to be like, oh wait, I think in the closet I have some shawl in a ball from this clearance sale, so let me go check and see what colors I still have in there. My goal is to get it all out and viewable on shelves. And then as far as my collection, my third goal is to use up scraps. Like I know I said, I took like a page from Rebecca from Chemnitz when she does like the no dye left behind. Um, I want to do just like no yarn left behind. Like I save, these haven't been delivered yet, but I save my scraps ends and things like the small, excuse me, the small unusable bits for my mother-in-law. Each year she gets, I empty this into a bag and I give it to her so she can use it to stuff her amigurumis. So this even has a purpose, but like anything bigger that can be made into a scrap project at some point, I want to try to go through and use, and the rest hand over to my mother-in-law so that she can stuff her amigurumis with it. Because I started out with like these drawers behind me here. I have like the bigger version, like the long wide with 3 long drawers, where I keep my bottom one. Since it's a bigger drawer, is cotton, so that one's not scraps. But the other two are like, the other 2 drawers are like all my scrap balls and everything. And then that migrated into another basket, and then that migrated into a spot in the entertainment center where the TV is. I just like, oh, I don't have enough, spot in this drawer. Let me just stick this yarn ball here. Because it's like a high entertainment center anyway. So like basically I just have random scrap balls like hiding around, and I would like to make a few extra scrap projects or something and get rid of that. Or like I said, if I have enough for an amigurumi and can use that color, I should do that. I did use, like I had 1 skein of the polo stripe color, so that's why my little candy monster, who still needs his feet and arms, that's why he is made of polo, just because I have 1 ball of it and I wanted to use it up. So I'll be doing more stuff like that. My scrap cal from 2020, the calendar that was made with either full skeins of yarn that I had only 1 of, like the border and such, or it was made from leftovers of other projects, scraps. But that got rid of like 15 extra balls of scrap balls. And I like to do more stuff like that and just try to wheedle down my scraps. So I'm still considering what I want to use for my upcoming 2021 cow. Not my cow, but the Majesty and Mayhem one, the filet crochet one. And I'm thinking I'm either going to I am going to use from stash first, but I'm either going to use up scraps for the blankets and make it real scrappy, or I'm going to pick something where I have like I have a lot of Karen cakes in like one or two specific colors. Maybe I'll do the blanket in just those, or just cupcake yarn because I have a lot of that from Myers clearance sale or something like that. But use from stash and use it up is what I want to try to do more of this year. And that's as far as my actual collection goes. That's my goals for that. Project wise, I am comping out a little bit and taking it a little easy on myself because I'm not gonna set a goal like, oh my gosh, Laura Mad Mimi, she went. I haven't seen if she did a video this year, but I saw her video last year with her goals, and they were very ambitious goals, and I think she hit quite a lot of them, and bravo, that's awesome. But she did like, I'm gonna do this many dresses because she makes like those baby dresses. She crochets a lot for charity, which is really awesome. She's gonna do this many, I don't know, hats, this many whatevers, you know. I'm not gonna set a number for that. What I want to say is I want to knit more, because I think you guys who've been around know that I've said before, I started my craft day life as a knitter. Excuse me. I thought I was like an amazing knitter. Turns out I was not. And crochet was more my jam, but I still do enjoy knitting, just not like I couldn't do a podcast of just knitting, or each month I would show off like two items. I'm a slow knitter. I'm not terribly advanced. I'm proud of what I do, but I wouldn't say I'm no Ross, that's for sure. So I just want to knit more, not even a certain amount, just more. Like if you saw my Christmas cast on, I posted on Instagram and I showed it off in the last podcast, which was episode 23. My Christmas cast on is a sock head hat made with some mani-pedi, like the rainbow yarn. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's just that. And just like because I'm still on the ribbing part where I actually have to count like 2 knit, 2 purl, 2 knit, 2 purl, I find it much easier to work on it when I'm alone. Nothing against my husband, nothing against Damon, but if they try to hold a conversation with me while I'm doing it, it's a little difficult to, like, I'll find that I'm off on, you know, and I don't want my ribbing to look absolutely horrible. My first like 5 rows were done on Christmas while I was hanging out with one or the other or both of them, and I made a lot of mistakes, and that, like, to the point where I was almost gonna rip it out, and then my ribbing started straightening up, and I'm like, you know what, this isn't that bad. So maybe to go with my knit more after my hat, I am going to finish working on a knit blanket that I had showed off, that when I was only knitting, I started one many moons ago, that I keep referring to it as my Muppet blanket. So maybe I will get that out and work on that some more. And then I'll show that off like as I go to, like, I probably won't make it a whip weekend video, like not the center focus. Maybe I'll throw it in there and just mention like some progress that I've done with it, since it's knitting, and I'm gathering that most of you folks come here for the crochet, not the knit. I know there are some knitters also, but I'm guessing a majority are crochet. Maybe you're both. I don't know. Do you guys knit and crochet? Tell me down below. How many knitters do we have out there? My other goal as far as projects is to just finally complete a wearable. I have, and I don't mean a shawl, like I know you can wear a shawl. I don't mean a neck warmer or a hat. I know you can wear those, but I mean like a cardigan, a sweater of some sort. I have one started, even just like a cocoon, it's not like a cocoon. I have one of those started, which will probably end up I was considering doing that for like my next whip weekend project when I complete the one I'm on. And I was considering with that one just making it into a blanket or something. I was gonna like show you guys and get your opinion as far as that one goes, but maybe even just starting over with maybe some of my latte cakes or something. Those seem like they'd be a nice snuggly cardigan or cocoon type thing. But I just want to complete a wearable. I make blankets, hats, scarves, shawls, neck warmers, amigurumis, but actual wearables I have not done. I made like one like shrug thing last year out of Arabella, out of some Hobby Lobby clearance Arabella. And I do like it a lot, but I probably could make that better also. Or maybe even just improve on it, and it's a shrug that goes like here and around. Maybe I could make like a back to it and like a back side panel, back and side panel. I don't know, but something like that. Either way, my goal is to complete a wearable. Then I have channel goals for this channel. Number one being be more organized with notes and planning and etc. And as you see, for like the second video in a row, I have, granted it's not in a notebook and it's not very professional, and it's even on some of my creepy Halloween paper, but I have notes. I'm gonna try to do that a little more often. Number two is try to keep a schedule of some sort. I need to find what works, and that way you guys will know, oh, Heather's putting on a video today, or you know, like I would like to keep my podcasts probably bi-weekly unless I hit the lotto, can quit my job and can do YouTube full time, which is like my dream. That would be a lot more time to spend with you guys. But I'd like to keep it bi-weekly so I have more content to show off, because my podcasts do tend to be between a half hour and an hour, and personally I like that. I like to keep it around that when I have things to talk about. Like I'm not going to keep you guys around just to hear me chat for an hour about like 2 items, but yeah, anyway, I'm going to try to keep it bi-weekly for the podcasts and not slack off like last year. But I did get my stuff together, right? Like, this last 2020, I got my stuff together. Before 2020, I was really, really random. I want to try to do more yarn reviews for you guys. One of my most like successful videos was a yarn comparison that I did between Hobie cookie yarn and Red Heart Roll With It melange. Just to show, I just wanted to show you guys because like I really feel like it's the same yarn, and not every yarn will be a comparison that these two are the same, but like just, you know, even though like things I take for granted, like I might be like, well, I've had Colorscape yarn, like Red Heart Colorscape, let's say, for the last 2 years. You know, it's been around, I've made projects with it, I own it, I've had it from clearance sales even, but maybe somebody out there has never used it before, and now that it's coming up on clearance, you want to know a little bit more about it, because you know what, even buying clearance yarn and finding out that it's not the yarn for you kind of sucks, because that's still money. I don't care if it's $1, that's $1 that you spent not getting it, or not liking it, not getting your money's worth out of it if you do not enjoy working with it. And not that I can tell you that you will enjoy it or won't enjoy it. I can tell you what I enjoy about it, and if you seem to like the same type of things as me, then maybe you will also enjoy it. So even if it's like, I mean, I probably won't do something like Red Heart Super Saver or Bernat Value, because those have been around forever. There's a ton of reviews for them. But like I said, even some, you may not want to watch some of them if it's a yarn you're super familiar with, but maybe some other people won't be familiar with it. So I'm going to try to pick yarns and do some more yarn reviews. My next one being Moroccan Nights. That one is coming next. And then for the schedule part of the goal still. Sorry, my voice is getting a little shaky because I have nothing to drink. I'm getting real dry throated. I want to keep Whip Weekends going. And I'm probably thinking bi-weekly with those two, either the same week as the podcast or maybe opposite weekends of the podcast. My podcast tends to come out on Sundays. I think this last week it came out on a Saturday, just because that's just the way it worked out. But I would like to make sure to keep Whip Weekends going. That is a goal, not just for you guys to see what I'm working on and talk about it and give us an area for you to tell me what you're working on, which I've always enjoyed that too. But it helps me out also with that because it keeps me a little more accountable. Like on this project I showed on the last one, I have like a stitch marker in place, a placekeeper marker, not a stitch marker. Well, I mean, it is a stitch marker, but anyway, you know what I mean. But then I can show you guys, like, I've done like this much or whatever. And it helps me stay focused on getting more of it done to show you guys. Yeah, so I'd like to keep the Whip Weekends going, and there'll be other episodic things thrown in to do schedule, to do a schedule around, not just those like 3 types of videos. There'll be tutorials, of course, and everything, but I just want to try to be on a schedule at least a little. Like, maybe I will keep to a schedule with like the podcast and the Whip Weekends, but then as I find things to talk about for yarn reviews, as I find things to talk about or as I find tutorials to do, as I make them, those will be like a little more random until I get more used to it or whatever. But anyway, and like a third goal for the channel is I want to try to keep doing multiple videos a week, because maybe not one every day because I still work a full-time plus job, but I like keeping you guys updated, and I like when I update you guys through your comments, you update me on things that are going on in your life, on things that are just that you're working on things that are on your mind. And I love that. Like, I don't remember if it was Gretchen that said it, and I'm sorry, but somebody definitely said they love that I talk to you like you guys are right here with me, and like I feel like you are, like, to a point. I know, not delusional. I know that right now I'm staring at a camera, but I know that as soon as this video comes out, you guys are hearing my words, and I'll be hearing yours through your comments or your emails or Instagram messages. Like, you are free to email me or message me anytime if there's something you want to talk about, or if you want to show me a project or anything. It's totally cool because like we are friends. Like there's people that I know are going to end up commenting, and I'm looking forward to it and appreciating it. And anybody new that happens to stop by, and if they comment several times, I like remember the name, and I will look forward to hearing from you guys. So I do want to get multiple videos up a week, so it's more like a little hangout. And because sometimes I know that I'll go a full week with only one video out, or like there's been times where I'll go more than a week with nothing, and I don't want to, like, that'd be like I'm leaving my friends hanging, and I don't want to do that either, although recently, like, I managed to do all of Vlogtober and all of Vlogmas, so I haven't done that. You guys have been more than updated on my life, probably more than you care to be, right? But and then, like, I have one last goal, I guess. I just kind of wrote it not really under a category, but I suppose it is channel goals. Is I want to make sure to do more tutorials and patterns. I know some people do really like the written pattern to have and to keep around, so you can print it and take it with you, or have it on your phone or tablet and have it with you, like, mobily, so you don't have to be listening to a video. You can like watch other things and just read the pattern, and that's totally cool. I'd like to make sure I get at least one pattern and or tutorial a month up, because right now I'm still really new to doing designing and patterns and tutorials. So I don't want to try to say I'm going to do one a week and this is the day I'm going to release it or anything like that, but I'm going to try to do one a month. Sometimes you'll get more than one a month. Sometimes you might get less and I'll have to make up for it. But by the end of 2021, hopefully there'll be at least 12. We'll see how that goes. We'll see, fingers crossed. But I think that's pretty much all the like YouTube-y, yarny related like goals that I have. And it is just a goal, not per se a resolution, because I feel like resolutions you kind of have to stick to, or like there's more pressure to do so. But a goal is just something like you're reaching for, and you know what, if you set a goal for yourself and you try to make progress towards it but you don't make it, that's okay. Next year, 2022, will be a new year for new goals. So do you guys have any goals or anything? Like, if you make a video, please let me know or link it. If you just want to let me know if you have any like certain goals or anything, whether it's working down your collection, whether it's adding to your collection, whether it's, I don't know, just getting rid of yarns you don't enjoy to make more room for yarns you do enjoy. Some people need to do that. I need to do that, actually. That might be another goal for me. But I do like almost all yarns, so I don't love blanket yarn, I will say that. I do not love that. That's another idea for a video, is I need to do last year I did like my top I think it was my top 5 yarns that I liked the most of last year, and I need to do a top yarn video for this year because my tastes have changed or I've discovered some new yarns. So stay tuned for that, because there is an idea. But anyway, like I was saying, if you do have any goals or anything, let me know. Let me know. I want to know. I want to be there cheering you along too. So I will finish this before we hit the half-hour mark. And I will talk to you later. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you want to hang out with me throughout this year and get updates on when I do put out videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell button, and I will talk to you later. Love you guys so much.